what needs to be understood that miniaturization, digitalization, and real-time availability of information through a multitude of sources today makes it very easy for you to get information. But whether that information is usable, whether it can be converted to actionable intelligence, or you're only losing time, or you're only seeking information which makes you happy. So it's like, some of our colleagues, you can find that they are addicted to YouTube or, some game. All the time they are at it. So similarly, some are addicted to internet. You will get a lot of information. But then what is that information all about? And how are you going to use it? For that, you have to use both judgment and technology. And this is very, very important, both in battlefield and in private sector. Even if you do not have that technology which your adversary has, if you do not know about that technology, you will not be able to take countermeasures. So this is very important, because in a battlefield, the resources will be asymmetrical. Both parties will not have a like-to-like match for everything. So you need to know the other parties, what they have at their disposal, so that you can proactively either nullify it or bring in something more to fore so that you can, tackle that issue. So that's very important. Now, the attack. So in this particular case, what happened is I kept for almost 15 to 20 days, I kept sending patrols. I kept going around myself. I kept collecting this intelligence. I kept doing the trig methodology. And I had a very fair idea that how many people are there and when is going to be the attack. Obviously, your adversary never tells you the time and place. So what we did is we placed our people in such a way that in the places where there could be an attack, because enemy always tries to attack to maximum effect, we already had deployed some countermeasures. On that faithful day, I got a tip-off. And that tip-off I got not from this entire huge infrastructure of intelligence. I got it from my carpenter. He actually came to the site around 3 in the afternoon, and he made a lot of drama at our security checkpoint, knowing fully well it will be reported to me. And he made one small chit and sent it. By just deciphering that, I could understand that he is giving a hint. And immediately, without wasting time, we went to that particular village. We laid the cordon. We knew something is going to happen. Like I told you, already resources were deployed. And we wanted to catch these terrorists, or we wanted to catch this adversary in that particular place before they escape. Because if they would have escaped in the dark, you could never have caught them. You would never know where they have put the explosives or where they were going to attack. So we had to catch them at one place. And that's what we did. Proactively went in, attacked. We tried to first warn them, as is the tradition of the Indian Army. They did not react. It was a suicide squad, we came to know later. So anyway, they would have killed themselves. And before they could blow themselves up or blow up the village or blow up any of our people, we could actually attack them and we could kill all 5. In the process, 2 of us also got injured. I also got injured, and one more colleague of ours from the Sikh battalion, he also got injured. And both of us got evacuated just by God's grace by a helicopter, which was being flown by one of my colleagues in NDA. And I just gave out a SOS message. Usually in valleys, people do not land after 4 in the evening because of the weather conditions. This guy landed and actually picked us up and took us to the nearest blood transfusion unit, which was in Srinagar. Otherwise, I would not have lived to tell the story. So here is where it's very important to go on working as though something is going to happen, and then build it as part of your capabilities, so that when the time and when that moment will arise, you will not be found, lacking, and you will be able to capitalize. So the correlation here is use diversity to its maximum. Diversity is not only about gender. It's about everything. It's about skills. It's about mindsets. It's about strengths. It's about weaknesses. You need to leverage it to your advantage. You need to be very clear who is a specialist and who is a generalist, and you need to deploy accordingly. Same thing in business also. We have huge amount of people with varied skills, but sometimes we get enamored by those skills which we respect and we ignore the other skills. But when crisis comes, we are not able to utilize what is available with us. So there is some amount of psychological value to this continuous process. Second thing is, as human beings or as the situation arises, there are always these small signs which, if you are not absolutely relaxed, or if you are not following it up, or if you are not leveraging people around you, you will not read these signs. Signs are there always. In this particular event also, for almost 30 days, radio chatter was coming in multiple places. There were attacks in 3-4 places. There were diversionary attacks in some places. There were isolated attacks on vehicles. We could have easily got misled. We could have easily shifted our resources, and we could have committed ourselves before the main attack came. Similarly, in business, you need to keep your eyes and ears open. You need to make sense. You need to read between the lines. You have to be alive all the time. And then please remember, everything has an expiry date. So if you do not use your resource or faculties within that time, then that is only dead wood. That's only dead weight. You're carrying it. It's not of any use to you. So if you get an opportunity, you have the resources, you deploy it in full force, leverage the full benefits of that. Same thing is in business. Everything is time bound. You do not have endless resources, endless time. At some point in time, you'll have to bring it to the fore. You have to take a decision and go ahead. And that's what is very, very critical. That's the learning from, the battlefield into the private sector.